What's up everyone? Alex here. I had the privilege to be part of last weekend's Anthem VIP demo, and with the open demo coming this weekend, I thought I'd share some of the things people can expect when trying this out for free. And before anyone asks, the release of this video doesn't mean that I'm going to begin focusing on Western games. It just so happens that the reason why I like Japanese games so much is because of their strong character-driven storytelling, and, in my opinion, BioWare happens to blend the best aspects of said storytelling style with the richness of Western plot-based storytelling. Sure, they've been a fallible company as of late, making games like Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, Dragon Age 2, and the much-maligned Mass Effect Andromeda, but I have high hopes for Anthem. Did the demo prove that my hopes were in the right place? Stay tuned and find out. To address the elephant in the room, yes, I was one of the many people who attempted to log into Anthem multiple times, only to encounter infinite loading screens that stopped at 95%, forcing me to close the game, restart it, and rejoin my expedition. As the first day of the demo progressed, the game got noticeably better, and I was able to focus on playing the demo more than dealing with a lot of its issues, though workarounds were still a very real thing. For starters, keep in mind that the demo is unoptimized and most likely several months old. What this means is that the game is at a playable state, though its frame rate and performance will be unstable. This is very typical of demos and betas, as I worked on several games whose demos were in fact based on versions that were several months old. Generally speaking, optimization occurs during the last months of a game's development. I won't go into the details of why old versions of games tend to be turned into demos, so let's just say that it's like building another video game on top of the actual game they're trying to finish. Fort Tarsis, where you begin the demo, hides very few interactable spots that show off the game's dialogue system. Before you embark on your expedition, I highly recommend speaking with a spry-sounding bartender, who seems to be voiced by Jack McBrayer, who played Fix-It Felix in Ralph Breaks the Internet, and his girl problems. You're only given two choices to reply to his inquiry, which is a bit disappointing given how spoiled we've become when it comes to BioWare dialogue systems. Be sure to come back to him after an expedition, as he's got lots more to say.
You are a wise person. I'm not gonna forget this. If I ever get into a jam, I know who I'll come to for help.
The next thing that I went and checked out was the Forge, which is located near your Javelin. Javelins are suits that you literally climb into when embarking on expeditions, and the Forge helps you change your loadout as well as customize your character's appearance. You're given some currency to spend if you wish to buy more shaders and colors to outfit your Javelin, but I found that most of the colors provided sufficed. It was actually nice to be able to change my appearance from the default colors to something more spacey, as I easily stood out during expeditions. By now, you've probably heard me talk about expeditions a ton and wonder what they are. Simply put, expedition is the collective term that describes gameplay sessions in Anthem. You can set your expedition to public or private, if you wish, which would enable and disable matchmaking respectively. Expeditions can be one of three mission types in the demo: free play, which allows free exploration of the world; strongholds, the dungeon/raid type content in the game; and story missions, which progress the main story. Each mission type's difficulty can be altered. The biggest curiosity for me coming into the demo was how the game handles flight and hovering, so the first thing I did when my expedition finally loaded was to try this out. On the PS4, you can either engage flight by pressing the L3 button, or hover by pressing R3 after jumping. This feature takes a little bit of explanation. If you're already flying, pressing L3 will disengage flight, and you'll drop down to the ground. However, if you're already flying, pressing R3 will make you hover. In other words, you can go from flight to hover just by clicking L3 and R3 respectively, and clicking the button you just pressed again will turn off either. This took a fair bit of getting used to, but it becomes intuitive the more you play. The flying part is a bit tricky as well. The left analog stick is used to just slightly move your Javelin on screen in different directions, but forward movement is automatic. You use the right analog stick to move a large reticle on screen, which actually controls where your Javelin will fly towards. While flying or hovering, you can press the circle button to dodge in different directions, and whenever you aim your gun or start shooting from the hip, your Javelin will automatically go into hover mode. Given that most players checking out Anthem will be used to Destiny, try to approach encounters from the sky and practice going in and out of flight and hover. A lot of encounters will punish you if you don't utilize flight and hover well, and always look for water to cool off your jets from time to time. Lastly, the combat in Anthem feels very intuitive. Along with your requisite aim and shoot buttons, are abilities that you can activate by pressing L1, R1, or both buttons together. You get an ultimate that you can trigger using the triangle button, and as far as the default javelin goes, seeing this ultimate in action was quite satisfying. You have the option to select a new javelin upon reaching level 12, after which that selection is locked for the rest of the demo. I selected the Storm Javelin, which is reminiscent of mages in online RPGs, who have the ability to freeze enemies and even use lightning to damage incoming enemies. Overall, I think there are a lot of fun things you can do in Anthem that makes it worth checking out during this open demo weekend, and I urge anyone who even has a passing interest in the game to give it a go. I actually enjoyed what I played of the demo, though I'm still very iffy about the story. We'll see if the full game eases my worries. For the rest of you who still have questions about the demo and my experiences, or if you played the demo, post your questions and thoughts on the comments below. If you like this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, and hit that bell icon to be notified of my latest videos. Lastly, follow me on Twitter at MyBacklogBattle for the latest updates on upcoming videos, or to just chat about video games. Thanks for watching, and let's have fun playing video games.